Circle theorem, rule number 3 and 4 and 5 in this video. First, I'm going to explain rule number 3. Rule number 3, it's here. A perpendicular bisector of a chord passes through the center of the circle. So what is the rule? Then I'm going to put the questions after explaining all the 9 rules. So, perpendicular bisector of a chord. What is a chord? Chord means these are the chords. That's a chord touching 2 points inside a circle. Inside a circle is a chord. And that is a chord. That is a chord. And there are, I can put, that is a chord. When the chord goes through the center of the circle, there is a special name for it. There is a special name for it. It's called diameter. It's called diameter. When the chord goes through the center of the circle, it's called the diameter. When it goes away from the center of the chord, it's called a chord. So, the rule number 3 is very simple. I'm going to make it a little bit lower here. When you bisect a chord, that means if it's a 10 centimeter, cut them into two. It's 5 centimeter on this side, 5 centimeter on this side. Cut into 2 pieces. And that point, bisector of a chord, passes through the center of the circle. A perpendicular bisector. So when you bisect it, that's the point. Let me say that's the point. And when this is a perpendicular, that means make 90 degree, it goes through, it makes 90 degree. It's not the bisector. So bisector is here. Bisector is here. And I'll make it smaller so that I can see the center of the circle. So that is green color. So that's the perpendicular bisector. So what is perpendicular? That's 90 degree. 90 degree. It's the perpendicular of the chord. So the green one is perpendicular to the chord. That means 90 degree to this line. This line and this line makes 90 degree. So that must go through the center of the circle. The green must go. The green cannot go away from the center of the circle. No way. It must go through this, goes like that, goes on. Look here, it goes on, it goes on, goes on, goes on. It must pass us through the center of the circle. That's the meaning of the rule number 3. It must go through, passes through the center of the circle. That is rule number 3. Rule number 3. Okay, that's the one. Rule number 3. Rule number 4. Rule number 4. I will type it here. Carefully read it. The angle at the center of the circle, center of a circle, is twice the angle at the circumference. So let me explain you the rule now. So let me have 2 points, a chord. That is my chord. Okay. The chord 2 points. And these two, the endpoints, the point number 1, point number 2. So it's a point here and point here. I don't need the chord. All I need is those 2 points. From the 2 points, there is an angle made at the center of the circle. Center of the circle. So this angle is made at the center of the circle. Now, from the same 2 points, remember, from the same 2 points, another 2 lines originate from the same 2 points. So I'll make it a different color. Let me have a different color. No, that's the, I'll have it red. It originates from here. It goes to touching the circumference. And another line, I'm going to have the same color. So I will have it outside first. I will have to have the rotating point here. So now I'm going to have the rotation here. Look here. That should be extended to up to this point. Should be extended to this point. Now, according to the sentence, the angle at the center of the circle is twice. So if it is 50 degree, that is 100 degree angle. If that is 45, that is 90 degree. If that is 65, that is 130 degree. This is twice. Angle at the center of the circle is twice the angle at the circumference. That is the rule. So now let me explain you one more thing. I'm going to have some green lines. Green. So it's here. That's, let me color green. And another line, it's here. Ending here. Ending at the same point. That should be a green line. Let me quickly change into green. Remember, because it's originating from the same point, this angle are the same. These two together, it makes this because it's x, that is 2x. So anything, any angle that is made at the circumference are the same originating from the same 2 points. I'll have this one as a black one. Let me have it a black one. And another point originated from this point, touching the circumference. That's very key, important information, you to know this. Okay, so that is also x. So if that's 49 degree, that's 49 degree. That angle is also 49 degree. So 49 times 2, this is 98 degree. So that is rule number 4. Rule number 5, it's almost the same as rule number 4, but that's a speciality. There is for some reason that's a special rule, but it's the same rule. So here, rule number 4 says circumference twice. Same rule, but it's special. Let me look at this now. This chord, I said 2 points. The 2 points, other chords are a special name for the chord going through the center of the circle is called a diameter. When there is a diameter, so that is 180 degree. So angle that is 180 degree. So the angle that is made at that using the 2 points is 90 degree, the same rule. But there is a special rule for some reason in the syllabus UK that is 90 degree because that's the half. Same rule can be used for this, same rule. But for some reason, there's a rule, separate rule exists. Because to write it so quickly, angle in a semicircle, angle in a semicircle is 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree. So 90 degree. It's the same rule, isn't it? It's the same rule. So that is 90. That's 180 degree. But for some reason, it's a diameter. The first part is a semicircle. That is also semicircle. That's why semicircle is half of the circle. So because it goes through a diameter, it's 90 degree. The same way on the other side as well. On this side is also the same rule. On the other side of the circle. Is there rule number 5? That is rule number 5. Rule number 5. Theorem number 5. Watch the video, understand, then you can do the questions.